Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great night of sleep. We are here for Coffee and Called Wild later than I wanted to be, but I was slow to get out of bed. Today, we do have coffee this week, not hot chocolate, because I haven't been up since 6 a.m. for Racing League related duties. I woke up at 9:30 or so. And yeah, looking forward to this. I'm planning on doing another Coffee and Called Wild stream Monday morning. So, kind of stay tuned for that. I don't know if it's going to pan out this week. The reason I'm doing it Monday and not Saturday is because I work this coming Saturday. So, trying to find the time in the week to do it. Monday is my day off this week instead of Saturday. I get every Sunday off, so. Just realized I forgot to do a very important key thing of setting up this stream. So bear with me here for a moment. Gotta back out of it real quick. Beautiful French horn swells. But I hope everybody's weekend is off to a good start. Hope you all got a good night's sleep. I don't know if I want to keep, chipping away at the the Leighton Lake stuff, or if I want to maybe dig into another reserve, try to start working that herd up a little. I also need to get my population scanner. To monitor what all we've got going on. We're dealing with, we were doing Roosevelt elk. God, the elk they've got such a finicky zone time. I don't know, we'll pull them up for now. We may not do Leighton Lake and elk. We'll have to see. And we will go to live screen. All right, everything looks to be looking all right, running right. So we'll continue. And I don't know. I feel like I have run this coast and not had much luck finding elk. I think I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try blasting through it with the ATV. I'm not worried about necessarily spooking anything right now. Just want to see if I could pick up some other need zones. Because I show many herds of elk. Many. And a handful of diamonds, not many. But I don't know where they're all at. Because, again, we kind of discovered it last week, too. It seems that the elk, the bulls, and the cows are separate. And so you find a big huddle of bulls, or a big huddle of cows, and then that group is all cows. And then you find a herd of like 4 or less, and those are bulls. And I've not found very many small herds. I keep finding the big herds, which, in my experience so far, have all been female. Every one of them. So, there we go. Got that. We'll shuffle the time back a little, or forward, I guess, to another day. Okay. So, we're kind of going to go up and down this little stream here, see if we can't find some need zones for elk. Again, not sure entirely if... I feel like they're kind of regional. I don't think they populate this section of the map very much, but we're going to try. We've got some need zones here. What's in here? White-tailed deer. This must be a rest zone or something. If I can get a whitetail zone, I'm absolutely going to do it. That's all moose. That's whitetail. Imagine there's a zone right around here. Feed or drink zone, I imagine. Be my guess. We're not going to search too terribly hard for it, 'cause it's not really what we're here for. But this would be prime real estate for, because there's a damn cabin right there. An outpost I can fast travel to. Would be nice. Nope, that's just disturbed vegetation. Lots of tracks over here. More disturbed vegetation. This is very old. All right, come on now. Gotta be getting close to a zone. My guess, based on where we're at, though, is gonna be a rest zone, I think. Just because we're in a pretty wooded area. God damn, there's a lot of travel here. Turkey. Yep, there's the zone. Right there. Looks like it's a rest zone. 4 turkey. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Nothing for whitetail? Where the hell are all the whitetail going? It's a little buck. Oh, there's a... Is those elk? It's a moose. I was gonna say, I'm still not in the camp that I expect to find moose up here. There's whitetail. Yep, there it is, feed zone. It's a feed zone. Right in here. Perfect. It's really all I wanted was to get this feed zone. More whitetail zones you got, the better. Easier to find. Okay. We have trotted a long way from my damn four-wheeler. So we're going to come back over here, and we're going to restart this process. Start this shindig. Once again, would like to apologize for the quality of stream last night in terms of like game performance. I really do not understand what's going on with Sea of Thieves. I am at a loss for what could be causing that. CPU bottleneck is possible. I won't deny that. But that was super, super duper chaotic. Hoping that I can somehow get that worked out. Okay. So now let's try this again and not get sidetracked again. Okay, so we want to kind of keep and continue up along this river here. More whitetail tracks. I know they've got a drinking zone up and around here, so I expect to see some departing the drinking zone, at least the tracks. I don't have high hopes to find... It's black bear. I don't have high hopes to find elk tracks. We're hoping we do. Again, at the moment, what we're doing, those of you that may not be familiar with the game, I am just looking for need zones right now. Not necessarily hunting. I mean, I am, but it's more figuring out where they're going to be, so that I can kind of strategize a little bit on where I plan to go. Those are whitetail tracks, or blacktail. I don't know the difference. They look the same to me, but they're not elk. That much I know. So obviously, your wildlife, your game animals are going to have 3 basic functions. You're going to have eating, drinking, and sleeping. Well, an elk can eat anywhere on the map. It can sleep anywhere on the map, but it can only drink at bodies of water. So, what we do, we hunt the bodies of water. And by hunt, I mean we peruse, we search, we skim, we observe bodies of water during the times that they are supposed to drink. And from there, you have a better chance of finding trophies. It's easier to hunt when you know where they're going to be. Trying to track down, you know, a feeding zone, we just did it, but it's typically a pain in the ass because you have to track, as you saw, for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But if you go to a body of water and animals are there or were there, the tracks are right there, easy to find the need zones. So what we're doing, not worried right now about spooking animals, we're just trying to find drinking zones for the Roosevelt elk. And as I predicted, I am not seeing shit. This is a feed zone for whitetail, I presume. Go ahead and pick that up. And black bear, it looks like. That's... okay. Can't have too many need zones. There's moose. Moose, whitetail. No elk. I feel like the elk are more in the rocky, hilly, bumpy terrain. Maybe not so much. It's kind of wide open grass with a few small trees. I just don't know what kind of climate I'm looking for to find these damn things. Because I'm not seeing any tracks. Not a one. For elk, that is. Again, primary focus right now is elk. That's what we're trying to get more of. Black bear. Oh, what is that? Nope, that's deer. That's more whitetail or blacktail. Hey, welcome to the stream, Groove. Happy Saturday to you as well. Ooh. Oh, here's a need zone for... oh, no, that's disturbed vegetation. No, I'm not concerned about that. So, as anticipated, I'm going to go to the other side of the stream, actually. A little bit more clear terrain over there that I can navigate. I say as I hit a bump and go 140 degrees around. Did you use the G2 during the last few races? I did. It performed exceptionally well. I get a little bit of flickering. I don't know. It's probably more my system than anything. I did turn the resolution scale down a few percent during the multiplayer races. It works great in single player. I think multiplayer adds a little bit of extra strain. So, not necessarily on the headset, but on my system. So I just try to take a little bit of the edge off. But yeah, much clearer picture. Much clearer picture. It is astonishing how... I believe those headsets are only 1 year apart. I believe the Rift S came out in 19, and the Reverb came out in 20. Huge difference in the Oh yeah, no, I can absolutely keep using it for multiplayer. Absolutely. I haven't. My Rift S is unplugged and in the corner. I haven't touched the Rift S since I got the reverb going. There's a whitetail up there. Well, the other thing, the big thing to note, and I'm not sure if you were aware of this coming from, or for me coming from where I was, the Oculus program itself, like to run the Rift, the dashboard is super, super hardware intensive. Like, it takes a huge amount of resources to run that dashboard, and so what ends up happening is you're running the Meta dashboard, you're running Steam VR, and you're running the game. Now, Steam VR is pretty light. It doesn't take a lot of resources because it's kind of, I wouldn't say a background application, but it doesn't seem to be a problem while it's running. But Meta VR was super hardware intensive. Like, it was consuming chunks and chunks of RAM and VRAM. So now, going away from that and staying in Steam VR, my frame rate's nearly doubled. And again, it's not a slight to the Rift S, it's just the Rift had to have proprietary software to work, and now that, I think actually now that Windows Mixed Reality's gone, almost makes it better, because now it's essentially a native Steam VR headset. So the system is so much less strained when running, and we are having no dice here, so we are going to move to a different location. Ran Open Composite when I ran my meta stuff to bypass all that. Yeah, I did look into that as I was trying to figure out the reverb. I just said fuck it because I knew I had stuff on the way for the reverb to hopefully improve performance, or to hopefully get it running. And so I didn't mess with it, and sure enough, it all came in and it worked. So the issue was the USB. Matter of fact, here's my old USB card, and it's a little dusty, but as you can see, it all says USB 3.0, but none of these are USB-C. And that headset had USB-C. So what was happening, I had a USB-C on my motherboard, but apparently AMD and the Oasis driver don't get along if you're plugged into the motherboard with a GPU that's also plugged into the motherboard. Whole long bullshit of stuff, but essentially, make a long story short, off-board cards or like PCI cards that have USB-C in them, they work. But my card didn't have USB-C. I had an adapter, but the adapter, while it was USB 3, there was a loss of data transfer speed. So, damn it, I keep meaning to fast travel, not place waypoint. Pop that card in, plug the headset in, fired right up. It runs. I do see what you mean by the poor hand tracking without the base stations. So I might save up for base stations eventually, because I do want to do other things with this headset. I don't just want to sim race. One thing, and I might even try it today because I've been itching to try it. I just have to clean up my sim space over there. I really want to try Elite Dangerous in this because I thought Elite Dangerous looked great in the Rift. And now seeing just how much visual clarity there is in the Reverb versus the Rift, I really want to see what Elite Dangerous looks like inside the Reverb. Because I stand by it, Elite is probably the most fun I've had in a VR headset, and I want to experience that even more fun. VTOL VR. No, the game sounds familiar, though. It does sound familiar. I might have heard of it. I've not played it, though. So we're going to peruse this lake here. I want to see if there's anything up at this lake. Combat Flight Sim in VR. Even over... Okay, so... And again, my Combat Flight Sim experience in virtual reality, pretty limited. Mainly because I'm terrible at combat flight sims. And in fairness, in Elite, I don't typically venture into the combat because, as I just stated, terrible at it. I have done a little bit of DCS. I fly the World War II Warbirds in DCS a lot. P-51 Mustang. I've done a little bit of the P-47 Thunderbolt. And I did very much enjoy that because it felt very immersive. The controllers in Oculus, the controllers actually worked in the game, so I could use my hands to kind of adjust the shit in the cockpit. And then I have a coworker that swears by IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad, but again, that's all for Warbird stuff. Flight sims, I'm weird because like I'm not good at combat. I have looked at how to dogfight. And I'm just not good at it. I watch videos, I follow guides, I've watched tutorials. Not good at it. 400 hours in DCS, probably 300 in IL-2. Really? You have a coworker, he's like 57 years old, but his favorite thing in the world is playing fucking World War II flight sims. And it cracks me up. He's good at them, though. He enjoys them. I think this is probably... Yeah, it's Black Bear, but we'll spot it anyways, because can't have too many need zones. VR is all hands-on stuff. You don't use joysticks or hardware. It's like DCS Lite. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, DCS and Elite Dangerous are two that are on my short list of things I want to try. Oh, here we go. We've got some elk tracks now. Well, this might actually be an elk need zone that I've already discovered. Yeah, already discovered this. Fuck. Oh, we'll keep going. Yeah, I'm just terrible at dogfighting. Absolutely terrible at it. For example, the F-14 counterpart. Good old Tomcat. Feel the need for speed. See, that was another thing when the last Top Gun movie came out. I went and picked up the F-18 and realized, while the F-18 is cool in DCS, I didn't have the know-how or the brains to fly it, and B, BVR combat is kind of sad. Like, it's cool that it's so technologically advanced that we're capable of doing such a thing. However, kind of like being able to see things happen. Sweep-wing electronic warfare fighter with 2 seats so 2 people fly it. Damn. Yeah, I need to get into some more sims. I also got to figure out, though, it happens a little bit in AMS2. The wireless headset that I use for VR gameplay, it's a fantastic headset. Really is. If I turn my head too far left, all the audio cuts out. And it's wireless, so it's almost definitely a connection issue. Like pinging to the receiver. However, I don't know what I can do to fix it. I've tried moving the receiver, and it doesn't seem to help. It did help a little yesterday. I was doing some practice for Tuesday's race, and it was acting up, and I moved the receiver further forward, and it did seem to make it go away. Reason that's significant, though, I don't play flight sims here. I have the pedals, the joystick, and the throttle are mounted to my desk over on the other side. I have an L-shaped desk, and it doesn't show on the stream, but it actually comes over this way and then back almost against that wall in the corner where there's a bunch of shit piled up that I just realized is all on camera. Look like a fucking hoarder. But coyotes. Being that that is on the left side of the room, I worry that receiver won't pick up, or it won't send audio correctly. But I don't know. I have to see. It seems like it's a very neat. Like I can walk out of my room, like out of my office, into my kitchen and still get audio from the PC. So I don't think it's consistent enough to worry too much about. Maybe interference from something. I did think that too. I don't have many wireless things in my office. I do have a few. And I believe it is absolutely 100% just the headphones, because the actual, like, my streams and shit, they don't drop audio. It's just the headset, so it's both a good and bad thing, I suppose. So here we go, doing the thing I said I wasn't gonna do, and that is following tracks to find a need zone, because I shouldn't have to. Yes, I run a 2PC stream setup. Relatively new to it. I've only been doing it for about a month and a half or so. But yes, I run 2 PCs. Best decision I ever made. So that was one thing I struggled with. Was getting the picture to the other. So I have a capture card in the other computer. And it's a PCIe capture card, so it plugs into one of the PCI lanes in the computer, and it's got, I believe, DisplayPort in and out. Or maybe it might be HDMI. I don't remember, because I had to fuck around and try to figure out what cables I'm gonna go. But I have a feeling I know what question you're about to ask. Go ahead and ask it, but I will answer it. Because getting the PC, like getting that, it was a bear. I finally settled in on what I liked, but it took a minute. Have a capture card, but since I run triples, I cannot get it to clone the display. It shows as the fourth screen, which is the in to the capture card. I gave up last night screwing with it. So, if I'm understanding it right, it shows up as a fourth monitor in your Windows settings, correct? Capture card in and turned on. Okay, so what I do, this is going to solve 2 problems. One, always turn the streaming PC on first. I don't know if you have this issue, but I have the issue where if I run things out of sequence, all my desktop icons get navigated over to the desktop that is the capture card, and it fucking pisses me off. But if I turn the capture card PC on first, 99.8% of the time, everything is where it belongs. I run that as what I call a discrete monitor. So essentially it is a monitor, but I don't put anything on it. I don't see anything. I don't clone anything to it. What I then do, in OBS, if you right-click your preview in OBS, you have like enable preview, preview scaling, blah, 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 blah. And there's an option that says project preview or preview projection. If you project your preview to the capture card, it's like cloning the screen, but diet. It doesn't put near as much tax on the system. And you don't have to deal with, all that other stuff. So I have, my Windows is set to extend this display on all of my monitors, and then from there, I just pop that preview projection up, and the capture card captures the preview projection. So I still run 99% of my OBS on the streaming PC. I just open OBS on my gaming PC so that I can project the preview to the capture card, and it works beautifully. It's best setup I could ask for. And then I just disable the OBS preview, not the projection, but the actual game preview in the streaming software, and it's like I'm not even running a streaming software. It's terrific. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Yeah, absolutely, man. And then I really don't care for the software because it's immensely confusing. But I use Voicemeeter Banana to forward all my audio to my streaming PC. And it's a bit of a headache, and that I followed a guide, and the guide was incredibly helpful. And I would just follow the guide and work with it. Yeah, so because the issue you run into is all of your apps are on the gaming PC. Your voice chat comes out of the gaming PC. Your game audio comes out of the gaming PC. Everything comes out of the gaming PC, but only what's transferred via HDMI gets sent to the capture card. So what I do, I actually forward my audio over the network. So local network, it picks up the internal IP of my gaming PC and my streaming PC, and they just send the audio back and forth from each other. So, whenever a notification pops up on the stream, any of those stream alerts, I hear it on the gaming PC, even though it's on the streaming PC, because it's sent over the network. And the latency is... I don't even notice it. I thought I did at one point, because I was really... I spent hours testing all this when I got everything fired up. And I was looking for inconsistencies and delays, and I did not spot one. So it's pretty quick. And I don't think if you're not looking for it, I don't think you'll see it. If you're looking for it, you can probably find a split-second delay on some things, but it would have to be me pointing out, going, I am right-clicking, I am left-clicking, and I'm never going to do that, so... But yeah, getting it set up to, this might be bulls. That might be a herd of bulls. How far is that from here? 381 meters. It's a long shot, and I think it's over a hill. Yeah, getting the displays to work right was probably the biggest challenge. I just had to follow the video guide to get the audio set up and working, and it worked flawlessly. I haven't had any issues since. Sometimes it gets a little choppy, but if you just restart the audio engine, it fixes it. And I also think that's partially because I use high-end audio gear that's probably not matching what Windows likes to do. But I had talked for years, my audio stuff was Walmart specials. Hey, if it works, it works. Maybe Best Buy specials. I went to school for audio production, so, I wanted to buy a nice board so that I could, record and produce my music. Then I needed something that interfaced with Pro Tools nicely. But I totally understand the appeal of buying shit on Best Buy or Amazon or Home Depot or not Home Depot, Walmart. Welcome to Home Depot, your not technological parts store. But yeah, I mean, the audio it takes a minute to set the audio up. I don't want to make it sound like it's a breeze. It's easy, but you have to follow the instructions and follow them to a T. But once it's done, it's great. Super easy. And hands down, 2PC stream setup, best decision I ever made. So much less taxing on the gaming PC. So, I mean, all I'm doing is playing a game. I'm not doing all this extra shit. All that work is offloaded onto another system, and this computer is free to do what I built it to do, and that is play video games. I've got a Ryzen 9 5900X, and I just upgraded to a Radeon RX 9070 XT. So I was running a 3080 Ti, or not a 3080 Ti, just a 3080, and finally was starting to be bound by GPU memory, so I stepped up to the 9070 before the VRAM issue hit, because I was going to wait, and then they started talking about how RAM is getting hard to get, and it was going through the stratosphere, and I just fucking bit the bullet, pulled the trigger on a GPU, and literally 2 days ago, or 2 days later, I got an email saying, like, oh, all Radeon cards are going up $50 per 2 gigs of RAM or whatever, 8 gigs of RAM, I don't remember. 9080, 9800 X3D and the 4070 Ti compared to that. So the 9800 X3D, I believe, is much more powerful than my CPU. The 4070 Ti is probably on par, maybe a little behind my GPU. With GPUs, I'm really well versed in the stuff that I'm researching when I'm buying one, and then beyond that, I have to avoid looking at it because I'll just want to spend money on something, and I'll develop buyer's remorse. But I think NVIDIA is the king of ray tracing for sure. 16 gigs of VRAM, that's huge. Ray tracing performance not there with AMD cards, which is fine. I don't really care that much about ray tracing. It's nice, it's pretty when I can get it to work well, but I'm not as interested in it. I don't know about clock speeds and all that other stuff, but I think that's pretty much on par with what I've got. The 9070 XT, like, that is... AMD quit trying to compete with flagship NVIDIA cards. They tried to compete with the 70s and maybe some of the 80s. They didn't want to try to compete with the enthusiast level, you know, 4090, 5090. They weren't trying to compete with all that. They just wanted to do the mid to high range gaming computers, like lower high range, I guess. But yeah, I'd say that. But I mean, in fairness, right, your system's very close to mine. I think your CPU's much more tanky than mine. I didn't really have issues streaming, but it's obviously a load that's being put on your system. And some games, poorly optimized games, that's noticeable. And so, you know, my PC yawned almost all the time when I was streaming. But... okay, yeah, I knew it was... a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's what my brother has. Or 98, maybe he has a 9850 X3D. Because that's got integrated graphics, which not necessarily a big deal for you, but it is considered, I think, their top-of-the-line chip. It's even worth the hassle of setting up a 2PC stream. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. So nice. It is so nice. I wish I did it sooner. I only did it because I eventually had through building PCs over the years, eventually I had enough parts to just build a second PC that wouldn't be good for any gaming, but it can do all the streaming stuff just fine. And I haven't done it in a little while. John, I wish I did not do that, will remember, we used to run Space Engineers, which is something I'd like to get back into, but I always had to host the session. Like, the server was hosted from my PC, so then I was streaming, playing a game, and running a server all in the same system, and it would take... The performance of the game for everybody took a nosedive. Which I know that's a very, you know, case-specific instance, but huge, huge improvement. I mean, it has been hands down one of the best decisions I've made. I could not play Battlefield 6 and stream it at the same time. My computer couldn't handle it. Now, I haven't tried playing it since I got my new internet. It then became an internet issue, and I do think that has since been fixed. I have to try it, but definitely, it helps with games that are not as optimized as they could be, and you maybe don't notice it until you start streaming. The biggest gripe that I have with it, and it is all completely self-inflicted, mind you, is that trying to manage the stream is a little bit of a pain, because obviously the computer's over here, and I'm right here, and the monitor's over here, and I'm right here, the keyboard's over there, and I'm right here. I do have the mouse. I have the mouse over here so I can navigate the screens, but that's the biggest thing. And I could get a Stream Deck if I wanted and hook it up and do all that, but best decision I made for streaming, hands down. Wish I did it sooner, honestly. I really do. It's so nice. It's a bit of setup. It took me, it probably, like, top to bottom, getting the audio and the video all sorted out, it was probably about 4 hours of setup, not all together. But because it was all fine-tuning, you know, it probably took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to get everything dialed or set up, and then it was just dialing everything in. Best decision. Freaking best decision. I love it so much. Wish I did that sooner. That's my cousin. Hey. Hindsight is not 20/20. Okay, so I have just been wandering aimlessly while talking and not hunting bodies of water. So, what we're going to now do, we're going to try this from a different place. Wish I did that sooner. That's my cousin. I feel like the joke was missed. Was it an incest joke? Because it was probably missed, but that's the only joke that's clicking in my head right now. Wish I did not do that. Oh. Took me. Yeah, you had to point that out. Well, because I don't recognize you as I wish I did not do that. I recognize you as Scuba Steve or XXSpeed11XX or John. I don't recognize you as I wish I did not do that. I know that's you. But I look at that and I see John. I don't see, I wish I did not do that. Ladies and gents, I will be right back. I am going to refill my coffee so that I can honor the first half of the stream title. Give me one moment. Oh, sorry, Ryder. Alright. Kind of back. Ugh. Now I'm back. Accidentally rolled my chair into my wife's dog. I'm sure he was thrilled with that. John, since you're in here, I do plan on returning to RV There Yet soon. I've only got one more round left in the NASCAR series, and then after that, my Wednesdays will free back up. We'll get back to RV There Yet. I'm still bummed that everybody missed the absolute insanity of hooking up an RV to a ski lift. Years ago, I backed up my chair, didn't know that my cat was lying under it, snapped his leg in half. That was a hefty vet bill. Ouch! Well, hopefully the cat was okay. I don't think I'm capable of rolling my dog over. He weighs half as much as I do. But he would certainly act like his leg was broken in half. Biggest drama queen I've ever seen. Tough German Shepherd's my ass. He's a big baby. Cast and pin in it for 4 months, so bad. Yeah, I would feel horrible. I absolutely would feel horrible. I get to the, like, I feel a little bit bad, like, again, playing a hunting games. No, a lot of people that have been here, long-timers know I've got an English setter. He's a field dog. I mean, I bought him to hunt pheasant, quail, chucker, like upland game birds. And, you know, you get out into the field grass, man, and he is running through the fucking brush grass with his tongue out, catching all these thorn bushes and briars and shrubs, and he'll come to me and, like, all down his face is just all cut up. And he'll be bleeding, his gums will be bleeding, his tongue's bleeding. It's all minor cuts, but it bleeds. And I always feel bad, but he doesn't seem to bother him. This last one, he got especially into the thorn bushes, though. And I was, I spent like 3 days picking thorns out of him. Like, you think you get them all, and then you're petting him and find another one. But no, the German Shepherd is the dog that's sitting behind me, and rolling him over is... it's kind of a challenge. Okay, come on. Where are the damn elk? You have to drink water. Curious. Am I going too early on the need zones? $4 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I'm well within the need zone time. Coyote. Okay, so... alright, take it easy, Groove. Thanks for dropping by, man. So all of my elk have been found right up on this stream here. I do think maybe it's a terrain thing. Maybe I'd find more over... But no, I find a shitload of whitetail over here. No fucking elk. Nowhere. I don't know where they're all at. I genuinely haven't the slightest clue where I might be finding any of these animals. Oh! Ouch. So I'm definitely thinking it's a terrain thing. I don't think that I'm going to find them in this area. Time to consult the interwebs. So, right where I was looking. This seems to be the hotspot for them. Some people have claimed they are over here. So, we shall go. I think 5 is as early as I really want to go on trying to find these things. Because I do think I'm going to have lights to find tracks now. Or night vision, which I'm not doing. We need to go in an eastern direction. Realize this stream has been a nothing burger in terms of progress. I think I found one valuable, like, elk need zone, and that's it. Oh, I can still see tracks. Interesting. And I'll be damned if those are not elk tracks. They are. Okay. Maybe this coast is where I need to be going. Lots of elk tracks. Of course. Fucking jackrabbits. I was hoping that might be a different animal. Hope's dashed. Ooh. Oop. Oop. Well, I kind of hope I don't find any need zones over here, because I haven't the slightest clue how I'd begin hunting them. It's an awful big need zone for one coyote. There's definitely elk tracks in the area. Oh, there might be a zone. Nope, black bear. Come on! Another coyote drink zone. Come on! What? I see so many elk tracks. No elk need zones. I mean, they're literally everywhere. Pretty sure all these tracks are elk. So, folks, this stream might end on an unfortunate note. Ooh. Ooh, careful. Alright, well, this has panned out to be a very unfortunate stream. And while I understand we shot nothing today, it is probably where I am going to wrap things up. As last week, maybe a Fallout stream tonight. I'm not going to make any promises. Just kind of wait and see what happens. Depends on if Megan's feeling up to it or not. But that is going to be it from me. Next week, we've got the Cast DTM Championship Monday. I will be streaming that. I will also hopefully be back for Coffee and Call the Wild Monday morning because I work next Saturday. Tuesday will be America's Racing League. It'll be round 6 of the Formula USA Championship, Season 1 of 2026. That will be at Termas de Rio Hondo. That will be on Tuesday night. Wednesday night will be the final round of the NASCAR Mini Series with America's Racing League at Watkins Glen. Thursday I will be off. Friday we will hopefully be in Sea of Thieves again. And Saturday I will be working. So I'll try to get that posted. I don't know that I posted a schedule this week. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I did. It's been kind of hectic, a little bit crazy. So, yeah, no, I did not. But anyways, that'll be all for me today and for the week. Hope you all enjoyed today's show, and I hope to see you again this evening if I stream Fallout 76. If not, hope to see you on Monday for my broadcast booth commentary of the DTM Championship. I believe they're at Le Mans on the Bugatti circuit this week, so that should be good fun. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Take care, and I will see you all in the next one. Good night, everybody. Well, have a good day, everybody. See you guys.